Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a great show lined up for you. Tonight we welcome gospel great Charles Jenkins. He has a new EP out called Gospel Music Changed My Life. Check it out. It's really good. I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can also check us out on our TikTok page. We have new merch, so check it out. And this is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, so shout out to all the trailblazers in that community. And yeah, that's it. If you want to watch, just go on our YouTube channel, Stephen Knight Show. Family, how are y'all feeling? Y'all doing good? It's Monday.
Amazing.
Yes, absolutely amazing.
I don't know why Mondays are always so hard for some reason. I don't know,
That
but
was amazing, but then I got a phone call that I need to be happy when it's Monday.
oh, okay.
Oh, I guess, Stephen, because it's such a long day for all of us. Like we all have other jobs that we do, and then
Yeah,
you know, we clock in here.
right. Exactly. And that's the thing. People are like, you made it through the Monday. No, I still have my show tonight. Oh, well, our question of the day is, what is your love language? Linnea, what's your love language?
Food,
Food. Feed you up.
feed me.
What's yours, Chike?
Mine would be food and intimacy.
Okay. Mine is quality time and words of affirmation. I need to know how great you think I am. I need to know.
Yes, damn it.
What'd you say?
I need reassurance.
Exactly. I need it. Well, tweet us at home and let us know what is your love language, Stephen Knight Show SHL. All right, so everyone's been speculating about Jamie Foxx's health. Well, the latest rumor is Jamie Foxx, the renowned actor, singer, and comedian, has been spotted in Chicago undergoing physical rehabilitation. Reports state that Foxx is receiving treatment at St. Bernard's Hospital New Ambulatory Care. Sorry, my thing is messing up. Sorry. Ambulatory Care Center, which recently opened after 2 years of construction. The $33 million multi-floor health center caters to the needs of residents of Chicago's South Side by providing walk-in clinics, diagnostics, imaging, orthopedics, rehabilitation, and on-site labs and pharmacies. The facility also has specialty clinics for adults and pediatric areas such as asthma, cardiology, and rheumatology. Now, Fox's president of the hospital has raised concerns amongst his fans about his health. However, this is no information. There's no information available on why he's undergoing physical rehabilitation. Nonetheless, it is heartening to see that his family is by his side during this time. Foxx has always been a family man and has been often spoken out about the importance of family values. Now, the nature of his illness was not made public. He was hospital back in Atlanta April 11th due to a medical complication, according to his family. Again, it hasn't been made public what it is, but his daughter shared the news on Instagram, adding that Foxx was already on his way to recovery. Foxx was in the middle of filming a Netflix movie, Back in Action, in Atlanta, with a cast that included Cameron Diaz, Glenn Close, and Diaz, who had not worked in a film in almost a decade, came out of retirement to feature in the movie. Despite Foxx's career in the spotlight, he has always been a very private person. And this desire for privacy also explains the lack of information being released about his hospitalization. Foxx's inner circle has been tight-lipped about his current state, but comedian Kevin Hart said he's getting better. Nick Cannon will be filming as a guest host on Fox's musical game show, Beat Shazam. Now, some of the rumors are that he had a stroke or something like that, but again, no one has really confirmed what happened to him. But this is, for me, good news because it was reported over the weekend that he was put on life support. And his daughter came out like, no, he's been out the hospital for weeks. He's recovering. So what are your thoughts when you hear this latest update? I'll start with you, Linnea.
So I don't believe everything that hits the internet
Yeah.
because, 9 times out of 10, these bloggers are just doing it for clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't even know if we had this conversation, but, there are a lot of bloggers who are not even but they capitalize off of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
They put out these headlines to get the clickbaits that gets them the numbers, that gets them the money with the advertising. So, I don't believe what they say, because they really don't know.
Right.
But you went from, oh yeah, they're preparing for the worst. He's doing his dead. He ain't been out the hospital.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ain't none of your business.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody want to report on the story, and you want to act like you are the first to know. And oh, my sources.
Mm-hmm. Closest to the star. And we purposely haven't talked about it here because we don't know what's going on. We just pray for his recovery. Chike, what are your thoughts on this latest update?
First of all, Mr. Stephen, I want to thank you for your journalistic integrity and not jumping in on that bandwagon like all the other bloggers, podcasters. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this, as a medical professional, and I want to remind everyone that there is such law called HIPAA, where you're not supposed to talk about anyone's medical condition. It's actually against the law. Yeah. You cannot do that. And if you put out false narratives, in all honesty, you can be sued for the negative comments that you put out. Just a reminder.
Tasha B.
But yeah. If I wanted to talk about Bonnie, Chaka, Hathaway, Layla Khan from my hospital, I would be fired. Mm-hmm. And they could possibly press charges against me. Yeah. Just want to remind people. That's all. But I'm happy that he's doing well. I'm sorry, Linnea.
They're not supposed to even know that they're there.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't help but to know that they're there because I have to treat them.
I'm talking about these outside.
Mm-hmm. This is true. This is true.
They're not even supposed to know.
And I guess people it's a combination of things. It's the information age, right? So people are used to having information at their fingertips and they want to know everything. And then this person happens to be a celebrity, so you're fixated on their life anyway. But there's a line. Like, you're not supposed to know everything. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are definitely for his speedy recovery. Well, TMZ is reporting that sources with direct knowledge informed them that Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors have alleged relationship. According to the outlet, it unfolded in the last several weeks. Additionally, the pair were allegedly spotted watching a movie at the Alamo Draft House in LA last weekend. TMZ adds that they have reached out to representatives for both actors for a statement. However, they have yet to receive a comment for either team. Now, the Shade Room previously reported Jonathan Majors facing charges of assault and harassment in connection to an alleged domestic violence incident that took place in March. The victim in the incident was reportedly left with minor injuries to her head and neck, according to the updated complaint obtained by the Daily Beast. However, Majors' attorney alleges that the case is a witch hunt and the accuser is lying. Majors reportedly attended his first court hearing via Zoom in early May. However, he's expected to return to court in person June 13th. If the star fails to appear physically, he can face arrest. So what are your thoughts on Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors if they're dating? Chike?
So as my colleague over there does most times, I'm going to refer to her because we just had this conversation on Saturday, and I loved her answer.
I had a conversation too, but I can't say on air what I said. Go ahead.
Because we had a fun weekend.
I can't hear you.
Craig, how you know?
Right.
You saw them out. So how you know that they're dating? How you know?
Right.
You know what? If they knew each other before. The people. TMZ saw me with Chike. I guess me and Chike would be going on a date too.
Right.
If they would have seen me and you, Stephen, when I was in Atlanta.
You in Atlanta, yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the people who believe you, it spreads like wildfire.
It sure does.
It spreads like wildfire. Mm-hmm. And it's like amazing how people instantly, oh, it's true. It's true. So they can tell you I got 25 toes and you won't believe it. And I show you I only got 10. Mm-hmm. But what they said that but I'm telling you that I only have 10. And I just showed you I only have 10 toes. But TMZ said they have reliable sources. So you lying. I'm lying about my own toes?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I will give TMZ credit. They are usually the first to know. I don't know how. I think because Harvey, he's an attorney, he has a lot of connections, but they usually are the first to know. I remember when Michael Jackson was hospitalized. He was battling. He was about to pass, and I was watching CNN, and TMZ had said he had passed away before CNN did. TMZ said they had, and so they usually do know before. I don't know how they do, but Chicken, what are your thoughts?
So, in my personal opinion, I just think it would be incredibly messy for Mr. Majors to make any type of public moves like that because he's so connected to
this case,
that other situation, and it's so close. It's very, very close.
Yeah,
he already lost endorsements, major endorsements that he had already. I have a hard time, formulating in my mind that this man would actually just continue to fodder. Like he would just, I just don't see that right now. I'm not saying that it's totally true. I'm not saying that it's totally false, but I just mentally can't put that together if you're in a sticky situation already and you're going to add to it, because then that would mean those relationships would have to have overlapped a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if he's single, then he could have been dating multiple people. Like you're single, you're young, you in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But at this particular juncture, Megan Good is coming. I feel like she's coming back into the game. And again, they could have known each other before. They could have gone out before as friends, and it was never a thing because of where
he was married and
or this happened. You know what I mean? And she was married. You understand what I'm saying? Like you don't know. There's no context, and we don't know what history they may have with each other. But for him, this is one of those things, and I think Chike, you have said it, like disappear for a little while. So this situation blows over and fly under that radar, because you can definitely go out without some fanfare. I know it's kind of hard, but you still can in a way and do things in a way that we can't do because you got the money.
It's true.
Incognito, that's what I call it.
Right.
And then also too, I'm used to people with like in celebrity who have a public image. They have their own versions of Olivia Popes. They get their people to go out and do the spins, and they build the narrative, and then they push out an agenda to help make everything at least look better. It may not be better, but they at least make it look better. And last week we even spoke on it. Where are the people's camps to make stuff look better, to help them with their image, to help guide these careers? Because some of the stuff looks crazy.
Yeah.
If it's true, it looks
we haven't heard anything from Jonathan Majors, since all this broke. We've seen what's happened to his career. And then I also heard some big movies about to be in. They're thinking about recasting him already. So I hope they figure what's going on in this.
There's only one person that continues to barrel down the choo-choo train tracks with negative things surrounding them, and that's somebody that's orange.
Oh, yeah. Please. Okay. An online fundraiser for Daniel Perry has raised upwards of $2 million just days after the 24-year-old former Marine was charged with second-degree manslaughter in the killing of 30-year-old Jordan Neely. Now, Penny's attorney, Stephen M. Razor, wrote in an email to the New York Post that the massive support only shows that the incident struck a chord with New Yorkers and has been echoed nationwide. He said the outpouring of support for Danny is always measured by the amount raised. But what is even more telling is that tens of thousands of people from all over the world have taken time to donate. Razor continued, this level of support demonstrates the situation forced upon him in the subway car earlier this month, and his subsequent arrest has struck a chord with the psyche of New Yorkers and has been echoed nationwide. The message being sent by this massive showing of support is that the attempt to undermine the right and duty to protect one another against the intimate threat will be challenged. Now, Penny's attorney said that he didn't intend to kill Neely, a 30-year-old former street performer, when he was placed in a chokehold on a subway ride in Manhattan earlier this month. It went on to say that he was only attempting to defend himself. Supporters on the fundraiser appear to agree with the attorney's stance. One supporter even shared their stance by leaving a comment with a donation, as reported by New York Post. This guy is a hero in my eyes. He should get a gold medal for what he did, not jail time. We need to take our city back. God bless this guy for trying to help. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis tweets in support of Daniel Penny as well. We must defend the Soros-funded DAs, stop the left's pro-criminal agenda, and take back the streets for law-abiding citizens. We stand with the good Samaritans like Daniel Penny. Let's show the Marine America's got his back. So for those who don't know, there was a homeless gentleman, 30-year-old Jordan Neely. He was on the metro in New York, and he had a mental illness break. He was yelling about being hungry, yelling about not wanting to live. He didn't attack anyone, but I guess he's making people nervous. And so this former 24-year-old Marine, he put him in a chokehold to help him there till he died. And so some of the response is, he's a trained Marine. He knows how long someone, if you're in a chokehold, that you could die. Someone on the train when he was doing it was saying to him, you might kill him. So now he has this $2 million that's being raised for his defense. And then you have people like Ron DeSantis, and also heard Kid Rock is a big donator to this cause. Thoughts, Linnea?
He has I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. He's being celebrated for killing a Black man. That's what it is, period. He's being celebrated for it. He's being given the opportunity to be able to live his life, unlike the one that he took. We see homeless people all the time. But what I've seen more of is I've seen non-Black people who are in the same way, who have gone batshit crazy. They've done all kinds, thrown feces at cops, bit them, fought them, done all kinds of things, and still lived to be able to, go get placed in some form of psychiatric care. It is beyond frustrating. I definitely didn't watch the video, but I saw like a couple we call it still shots.
Mm-hmm.
Could be me, but it looked like he was enjoying it because he wasn't going to let go. And he didn't let go. And the other side of that is the Marines who didn't agree with what he did. Mm-hmm. And they voiced their opinion on Twitter. And I don't know if it was you that said it, Stephen, or whatever. And they said that as a Marine,
yeah,
when you're subduing somebody, what the capabilities are, what can happen. And, a lot of Marines don't stand with him. Because it's one thing for you to try to, and if he wasn't bothering anybody, what else could you have done? Relating to that, because you would have had to gotten close enough to be able to put this man in a chokehold. If he wasn't bothering you physically, you had to have approached him in order to do that, because they didn't say anything about him approaching people. Mm-hmm. I've seen people go crazy, and they're not approaching people, but they're just projecting. Mm-hmm. They're projecting out.
Right.
You projecting out, I'm gonna move my behind down. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
No problem. Because that's not, I can't de-escalate that.
Right.
That's not my arena. So I send prayers to his family. Mm-hmm. And I saw the way that they escorted dude out of his home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm done.
And I agree with you. Like, how is it self-defense when you approached him? You approached him. That's not self-defense. Chike, what are your thoughts on this story?
It's giving me reminiscence of the Zimmerman dude. Martin. It's giving me that kind of vibe. But also what it makes me think about is there are other cases where there wasn't any physical connection. There wasn't any human contact. And I can think of 2 actresses of color. And then there's one former politician wife who's not of color. And they've all killed someone with vehicular manslaughter. No one went to jail. I don't even think one of them even went into court.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm looking at this situation and looking at the buildup of it, and I just don't see him going to jail or doing any jail time. But it's the law is the law, right? And I thought anytime that you took a life, there had to be some type of form of manslaughter on your record, at least.
Well, keep in mind, he didn't even get arrested until his outward cry. When people went to protest.
There's the tell. There it is right there.
Yeah. So his attorneys are saying that the fact that they raised much money speaks to New Yorkers wanting to change. New Yorkers the one that got him arrested. They're the ones who are out there protesting on those subway stations. So
New Yorkers, I think that was really that was a broad, across, a range. I don't think it was just New Yorkers per se, especially if you got that jerk over in Florida. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can donate from the comfort of your own home.
The Satan, so, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that in and of itself, and the fact that no, I'm not even surprised at Rwanda Santis.
Right. And also, too, you have to consider the source. I mean, that person right there. Consider that source. And Mr. Rock, isn't he the same person that's on social media shooting up beer cans?
Because he's mad at Budweiser.
Like, come on, dude.
Nope.
All right. Well, our last story. So, Francisco de Jesus, a father who was traveling with his 13-year-old daughter this month, was wrongly suspected of human trafficking by a flight attendant on American Airlines flight from SeaTac Airport to North Carolina. According to De Jesus, the cabin crew wrongly suspected him of exploiting his own daughter, which led to them being pulled aside at Charlotte International Airport after deplaning. The airline apologized for any misunderstanding that it may have occurred and explained that their team members are trained to recognize the potential signs of human trafficking. The National Human Trafficking Hotline considers the crime as a form of modern slavery that occurs in every state, including Washington, where SeaTac Airport is located. De Jesus mentioned that he and his daughter were en route to North Carolina to celebrate his other daughter's graduation and were not involved in human trafficking in any way. He questioned how the airline could even label him as such. While it's understandable the airline needs to be vigilant about such issues, it is not fair to assume someone is involved in human trafficking based on their appearance or travel companions alone. Such assumptions can clearly lead to innocent people being falsely accused and subjected to unnecessary scrutiny and humiliation. My question that I would like to have answered is, how did they label me as a human trafficker? I have my iPad, we're watching a movie, she had her phone. I mean, these are the things that I thought a dad and daughter traveling do, he told King 5 News. American Airlines issued a statement saying their frontline team members are trained to navigate safety issues and are sorry for the misunderstanding that occurred. Now, I know Atlanta is the hub. We've had a guest on the show that's the hub for human trafficking, and a lot of people come through Atlanta because it's the largest airport. Do you think that these flight attendants were wrong for assuming that he was human trafficking his daughter? Did they do the right thing by, they say if you see something, say something, or do you think they were out of line all the way together? How would they should have dealt with this in your mind, Chika?
I'm all for see something, say something, because you can save a life, right? But I want to know, what is it that you saw that triggered you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you see? Were you racial profiling because the man was Latin?
Mm-hmm.
So this is my answer to that. You can't really correct that. You're not going to be able to correct that. But the airline should give that man free airfare for a whole year.
Yeah.
For sorry. Don't want your statement. Do something. Mm-hmm. Show me.
Yeah.
Make up for it. Because that's horrible. And being racial profile, because I have been in the past, and I'll tell you this, true story. Every time I go to the airport, I don't get it at the first check-in. I don't get it at TSA in the beginning. It's always at the gate. They come with the little table. Want to know why? Because of this. This is, can I check your bag? Do you mind if I check your bag? And I throw the bag up on the table, like, have at it. And I sit down in the chair and I wait. Because it happens all the time. I'm used to it at this point.
Me too. I'm randomly.
But I think you should never get used to that. You should never get used to that.
I get randomly selected all the time for a pat down.
Yeah, random.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, airlines should make it up. They should do something for that man.
I agree. Linnea?
Chike already took my thought. I just want to know what it was you saw that you thought you saw in order for you to make that determination, because parents travel with their children all the time. Mm-hmm. They travel with their children all the time. And wouldn't you have been able to check the passenger log beforehand, right? Just to, all right, how can we verify? Is there a way to verify? They weren't traveling internationally, right? It was domestic.
Yeah.
So because when you
Washington to North Carolina.
Okay, because when you're traveling internationally, if you're traveling with family, you have to put down who's with you. Mm-hmm. So okay, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, my microphone fell. I just want to know what you saw, and I'm curious now. I'm curious because being that I am of a young John looking nature, if I'm with some handsome young man, are you going to think that I'm sex trafficking him?
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they have the same last name, because you can check the tickets. You know what I mean? You can check. I wonder if they have. Yeah.
So. And I think that we should actually, as a nation, I think that we should actually start holding corporations and companies and entities of business accountable for your sorry. I don't want a statement. And them days are over. I don't even want you to get on TV and say anything. Show me. Give it to me. Show me you're sorry. That's right.
Exactly.
Make me shut up the old-fashioned way.
Right. Well, listen, before we go, I want to talk about, I had the best time this weekend. I went to this thing called Everyday People. Apparently it's based in LA, and they travel from city to city. It's like a day party. I tell you, I had so much fun. And I saw so many people I hadn't seen in years, all at Underground Atlanta. So shout out to Everyday People. Eleni, I know you had something you wanted to share.
Two things. Chika and I had a good weekend.
Yes, we did.
We went house hopping.
We outside.
Outside. It's time.
It was a Mother's Day weekend for me, so I had a good time. But today amazing. I have to shout out Ivan Thomas of DETV in Delaware. I got the chance to shadow this morning with their Good Morning Wilmington morning show, and everybody was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Shout out to Miss Ivan. Shout out to Tamara. Everybody was amazing. And I just had such a good time. And they're doing so many major things for Delaware. And nothing media-wise does not happen without DETV. And I saw that today the chance to experience that. And I'm just so I'm proud of Ivan because from where he came from, he talked about Chike. He was like, man, I remember when I first met y'all, you know, nothing. I know nothing. I was asking Tim, what's this? What's this? What's this? And he is now, you know, he runs this and he's doing such an amazing job and part of that Black media space. And he wants to highlight us and making sure that Delaware is first on that list. They are reaching outward. So I had an amazing day there. I'm so tired, but you know, it was definitely, it fed me. That's awesome. Definitely fed me. So shout out to y'all and the whole crew. I had an amazing time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A shout out to them. Well, listen, thank you so much. As always, Linear for Hot Topics. Chike, I will see you in movie reviews. When we come back, the legendary Charles Jenkins right back after this.